talking about theoretical probability. Theoretical probability is the number of favorable outcomes, or the desire, over the total possible number of outcomes. So what exactly that is, it is what you would expect to happen. For instance, if I had a coin and I flipped the coin, I would expect half of the time the coin to land on heads and half of the time the coin to land on tails. It has one head out of two possibilities, heads and tails, or one tail out of two possibilities, heads or tail. So if I had a dice, theoretically, if I was going to roll that dice, the chances of getting a 4 would be 1 out of 6. There's 1 4 on the dice and 6 possible outcomes. That means I have a 17% chance when you roll a dice of it landing on a 4. If I asked you the theoretical probability of rolling a 2, well, how many 2s are there? There's 1 2 out of how many possible outcomes? 6. That means the probability, if I roll a dice of getting a 2, is 1 out of 6, or 17% chance. What if I had a spinner? Here is a spinner. What is the theoretical probability of that spinner landing on green? Well, how many green possibilities do I have? I have 2 of them. Out of how many total spots do I have on this spinner? I would need to count them all so that I would know that I have 8 possible outcomes. So I have 2 out of 8 possible, which is the same as 1 out of 4, or 25% of the time I spin this spinner, it's going to land on green. What if I had a deck of cards? Well, first of all, we have to know how many cards are in a deck. Well, there are 52 cards in a deck of cards. Here's an example of the cards that you would find. So if I asked, what is the theoretical probability if I drew a card from this deck, it would be a 3. Well, how many 3s are there? If I look, I can see the 3s are right here. That means I have 4 3s in the deck of cards. How many total possibilities are there? There's 52 total. So that means I have a 4 out of 52 chance of drawing a 3. And if I found that as a percentage, I would find out that's about 7.7% of the time, if I pick a card from a deck of cards, it's going to be a 3. Theoretically, what is the probability that I would get a red card? Again, how many red cards are in that deck? Well, there's a total of 52 cards and half of them are red. So that means 26 out of the 52 are red. So that means 50% of the time, theoretically, if I drew a card, it would be a red card. Go ahead and give your homework a try. Let us know if you have any questions.